It's also like Christmas. You buy the Christmas decorations and the Christmas lights after in the sales for the following years. It's almost that idea about not doing things on the day. Anyway, let's get on topic to the conversation today.
So Barry and I are wearing red today because we're talking about how to be your own Valentine, whether you have one in your life or don't. I think it's really important to first start with being your own. So we're going to talk about that today on a whole bunch of different levels. And we'd like to welcome you to the newsstreamingnetwork.com, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast #1 internet singles talk network. And this is Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Christine.
We're bringing the love today.
Yes, and I would like to say, if you're thinking this is all about Valentine's Day, we will touch on that certainly. However, this really is about all year round, because frankly, all the things we're teaching today are not just for one day of the year, because that'd be really challenging.
Yeah. How to love yourself, how to be good to yourself, how to decide what works for you to feel loved and cared about, because this is a big foundation of what Barry and I coach all the time, what we talk about in the foundation of our podcast. Learning how to be who you are first, your best self, because that's who you want to bring to the world first. And then you want to bring that to a relationship. And how would you know what to explain to another person, how to treat you, if you don't know how to treat yourself first? So yes, with this date that comes up every year that is celebrated by some people quite elaborately and maybe not so elaborately, to take stock of, well, if you're a fuss kind of person and you don't have a love in your life, what kind of fuss would you like to make for yourself? If you want to just say, I've never really thought about it. Okay, this is going to be my time I'm going to think about. Do I want to make myself a special dinner? Do I want to take myself out to dinner? Have I never bought myself flowers? I'm going to buy myself flowers, even if you just go to the grocery store and plop them in a vase and stare at them and think, how nice that I bought myself flowers. Or I'm going to buy myself a box of candy, or I'm going to take myself to the movies, or I'm going to do something special for me. It's a place to start. Be nice to yourself. That's one of the ways to say, I've never thought about it that way before. This is a good place to start.
Yeah, and I want to spin it a different way on the same point, because my question to anybody who's thinking, I always give to other people, and so I'll be nice to my Valentines, but I don't do anything for myself. What's that about? What is it about us, and I'm including myself in this one, that we treat other people who we love with more value, more impact, more time, more effort, more money to do for ourselves? Because it really is backwards. I mean, I'm working on it myself, so I'm not saying I'm completely over it. But there's the thing about, we'll buy something more valuable, or we'll treat someone else more valuably on Valentine's Day than we would do for ourselves. So if you are single on Valentine's Day, why not do the turnaround? Why not consider how you can treat yourself with more love, more kindness, more respect, more value than you would give to somebody else who you maybe barely even met? You're the one, as I said many times before, you're the one with the most, you're in the longest relationship with yourself than anybody else on the planet, because that's the one you spend your life with. So why not value it and take care of it? And the thing is, as I said at the beginning, this is about all the time, not just one day a year. I'll do an explain on February 14th in a minute. But the thing about this choice point that Valentine's Day evokes, like, this is a day for love. You got to be special. You got to be effective, and you've got to do it with somebody else. It actually kind of annoys me, to be blunt.
How do you really feel about it, Barry?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll get into that in a moment.
But certainly doing something kind for yourself. I love that you make the point that we're often so busy giving to other people that it might be a really good time to think about really giving to yourself. Giving to yourself in a way that you've not given to yourself lately or ever, or that you've always wanted somebody to give to you and you've not asked or not found anybody that gave to you that way. And so think about, would you like somebody to cook a special dinner for you? Would you like to get a manicure and a pedicure, go treat yourself to that. Would you like a massage? Would you like to take a nap? Would you like to write yourself a note and give yourself permission? I'm going to take a nap on Valentine's Day. That could be kind of an interesting gift to give yourself. That
Mhm.
you would tell your friends that are feeling overwhelmed and have had a hard week, since Valentine's is now on the weekend. It doesn't always happen that way. That you would say, gosh, I'm going to write myself a note like I would my friend, saying, you get a day off. I'm going to write you a note, you, Christine, a note that you get the day off, and you can go take a nap, and you can take a walk, and you can sit and read a book, and you don't have to do work all day. You can let the whole day go and be lazy, or just do nothing, or do
Right.
only something you want to do. I mean, really, and see how that feels, that you're like, gosh, I might want to make a habit of this, of once a month, or oh my gosh, maybe once a week, of doing something really nice for myself. That it's a nice way to look at a day that could potentially make you feel sad or bad, that it could be, gosh, I'd like to start this new habit of looking at a way of being generous and gentle with myself in a new way.
And speaking of that, have you thought about new ways you could actually treat yourself? I mean, that's the other part too, is we have this also a tendency to like default and do things the way we usually do it, the same old, this slow thing. And the thing is, what if you consider for yourself, again, if you're single especially, that on this Valentine's Day as a starting point, because again, not just now, but I'm still doing all the preamble stuff. It's like, let's start Valentine's Day as the starting point of the conversation, but do this every time you think about this for yourself. What new thing, new approach, new way of talking to yourself, of thinking about yourself, of caring for yourself that you could apply that might be just an incremental shift. But if you keep doing that, you'll be amazed down the road what will happen. But if you do start looking at yourself through a different lens, a new approach, just saying, who, and just to play with this one, just an idea, who is this person I don't know that well? As you look in the mirror, I'm talking about this, like looking at yourself. What parts of myself do I not know that well? What beliefs, what dreams, what things have I not been thinking about recently? Back on January 1st, we said we're going to set up intentions and goals for the year and have all these new things and new dreams. Well, on Valentine's Day, why don't look at yourself in the mirror and just consider, what is it that this person in front of me really wants? And how can I help them get there? Try that one on for size.
I love that. Dreams. What dreams do you have? And it certainly could include, we're not going to exclude, because we do talk about having a relationship with another person. It could include that. So be dreaming about that. What things would you now do for yourself that you would say, oh yeah, that I would want to include another person in that, or I would ask another person to do that for me. Wow, what have I not done for myself that I would like another person to do for me? I'm going to start doing that for myself now, because then I could feel really comfortable asking another person to do that. Because I have found that people will say, oh yeah, I really think that'd be really fun to do with another person. And why haven't you started doing that for yourself? Because will you be comfortable asking another person to do that for you, or to go with you to do that? If you haven't already done it before, it's a good time to start practicing doing it alone, or doing it with friends, or going out to a meetup and doing it. So this
Mhm.
is a good time to do some daydreaming, just some daydreaming with a little planning in mind of what would make me smile. What would be,
Mhm.
what sounds kind of fun to do,
Right.
because it's easier to go down the ooh road. I don't have any. And okay, I talk about ands all the time. You can go the ooh row too. And then my suggestion is to the and do a little daydreaming about what it could be happily as well.
Right. Yeah. The idea of exploring that is um, tantalizing, not so much scary, but just like intriguing and tantalizing could be fun as well, because there's something about doing something different that you're not used to that can really change the viewpoint you have. That, what again, I said earlier about doing the same old, same old. It's like easy to drop into convenience and habit and comfort and everything else. And you might have 4 or 5 things that you default to doing every time you go out, whether it's with a partner or on your own. What if this time you just think about something new and different that may give you that sort of, ooh, this could be interesting, or what's going to happen now? Because I think personally, since Valentine's Day, well, let's put it this way. Valentine's Day is a day that a lot of vendors and retailers like to make money. So the price of things tend to go up rather than go down on Valentine's Day. So I'm not saying you should put a lot of investment financially into Valentine's Day, but if you're just different on Valentine's Day, maybe you want to go out somewhere instead of going to the gym, you want to go somewhere where you hike where the flowers are, or you go somewhere different where it's maybe you go to a lake and go watch the boats go by. I mean, something you don't normally do that can just make you feel like you want to breathe more deeply. It doesn't require a big investment, maybe a little gas money to get there if you're driving a car, that sort of thing. But the reality is you can find things that really uplift you and make you feel more alive without having to go out and do something traditional, something different.
I love that idea. And whether you stay in or you go someplace, one of the things I've suggested to a couple of clients with this date coming up was write yourself a love letter. Think of some things that you love about yourself or that are lovable about you, that somebody'd be really lucky to be in your life because you are these things. There are these things about you, and write them down. The kind of letter that you'd like to receive from somebody, the kind of words that you'd like somebody to use about you or to you. And it was interesting how at first, I'm not a good writer and I don't know how to use words. And I'm telling people they're allowed to use ChatGPT a little for some inspiration and a thesaurus for inspiration, but don't copy. Inspiration's fine, but don't copy. I want it to be your words to you. And they came back quite excited that they ended up doing it, and they ended up feeling good about it. And they ended up they felt more capable after they did it. They decided that they were better at doing it than they thought they would be. And then when they read it back to themselves, how do you not feel good? How do you not feel good reading these lovely words that are the truth, not made up stuff, truth about you're a good person and that you have a good heart, and what are things, because you're busy giving to all these people. I mean, that's the problem we just talked about. Then write about all this good stuff that you've done. That these people were so appreciative about, then write about it. It was really, it kind of turned that part around for them. And I could hear the energy in their voice when they read them back. They were excited to read them back to me. And they didn't have any trouble with it feeling like bragging because they thought it was going to be that. And they said, no, it didn't turn out to be that way at all. And they were going to keep them. And I said, I hope that you periodically read them and that see that you want somebody that comes into your life that lives up to this standard, that you'll teach them that you want these kind of, because it was interesting because one was a man and one was a woman, that they would then teach the other person that these are the kind of words that I like. They were the words of appreciation, people like me. So it was an easy thing to teach them. See, this is who I am and what I like. And would you be okay doing this for me? It had all these different layers exercise. It was really a fun exercise to give them. And it really was prompted by the title of our talk that I was like, I'll give this as an assignment. And it was a fun assignment to do.
I love it. And a little sidebar on that was with ChatGPT, for example. I'm personally not particularly great at starting from scratch with like a clean sheet of paper. Give me a clean sheet of paper and I'll be wandering around it for a while. But if I use something like ChatGPT or some other resource I can pull from first, I can adjust, edit, and change everything else much more easily. So I agree with you that using something like a thesaurus or ChatGPT to give you the initial idea can be a great way to start, but then own it with your own voice and really go deep, because I love having something I can start with, like, and get my teeth into, so I can really like adjust it and refine it and polish it. So that's a good resource to use. The other part also is, and it's funny because we talked a lot about the Valentine's theme, and obviously because that's what's coming this weekend. But the idea also that you can do things for yourself that are impactful, not just sort of by words. There are deeds you can do. Because one of the things you might have said, it's like, I promised myself I would do this at some point and never did. That could be a gift to yourself. Even if it's just something as simple as clearing out your closet. But it could be about changing something in your own environment. Maybe it's changing your wardrobe, or changing the way your house is set up, or something. Anything, really, any scale. And of course, I'm speaking to what you can do more easily. But things you can do for yourself that really, again, reflecting like on the one in the mirror, is you start to recognize how much you take pride in who you are, how you take care of yourself, where you live, what you're about, by doing things in those environments externally. So you can actually enjoy those environments more going forward. Something simple you can do, pick something that's simple. It doesn't have to be hard.
That's really a good, clean out a drawer, or move your furniture around. And the other day I actually let go of, I've been doing some more speaking, and I looked at the things I used to wear to speak before, and they're so not me anymore. And I wear such different things now to speak in. And so I sent them off to the charity thinking somebody else will think they're lovely, because I don't any longer. So yeah, I hadn't thought about bringing that up with this, but I think that that's a really good suggestion about who am I now? If you're thinking about how to love yourself and reward yourself, and how can I be my Valentine person, to acknowledge where I've moved on to, and that where I am as a new person. And that was what I did the other day, because they're still beautiful and lovely, but they're not me anymore. And that's one of the things we do as we're growing emotionally, that we say, yeah, that was me before, but this is who I am now. And so part of what the outside accessories aren't me anymore either. It was really an interesting exercise to go, yeah, I remember that, and it's not me anymore.
It's funny. Just a slight sidebar on that one is I had realized for myself that I go to a meetup group every 4 to 6 months. We do it. So they're loving all the dating relationship coaches like in LA that I know, with other people who are friends of that. And one of the women that goes there, she's really about how to dress to impress, how to look right, how to be, especially when on dates and stuff. That sort of thing. She travels around the country doing talk stuff. She's on all these talk shows. She's done really well for herself doing it. And this is going back a couple of years ago now, where I was wearing my usual jeans and everything outfit. And she looked at my jeans and said, you're so out of date. And I'm like, what do you mean out of date? I don't dress to fashion anyway. But she said, it's like, you need jeans to fit you better. And I didn't think about it. I was like, I liked the jeans I was wearing at the time. And I looked, we had a meet up about 2 months ago. Yeah, about 2 months ago. And she was there because she missed a lot of them because she travels so much, but she was there. And I didn't really look at it, but I'd made a decision back then to start getting more better fitting jeans. I don't have any jeans that don't fit me well now. So when I was there at the event, she looks like, damn, you look good. I went, great, thank you. So it's almost like I didn't click the change I'd made like viscerally. I decided just to make a shift. And I started noticing, first of all, that I looked in the mirror with the jeans I was starting to buy, and I liked the way I looked in them. That I was not scared anymore, like jeans that fit me better. Because part of me was a bit more like that hiding sort of thing. And it's like, no, just be comfortable. And so I have like a stack of jeans now that all fit better than they ever did before. So simple feedback like that, if you have people in your life that tell you things honestly, not critically, but honestly, maybe take that to heart. There's opportunities you can do in your own life. So why not dress better for your dating experience?
I think that's really good advice. And I think it's often really good advice to take it from the sex that you're wanting to attract.
Absolutely.
That's very good advice. Have your profile looked at by the kind of person that you're trying to attract, and your look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For people that are looking for same sex, ask them. But the people that are looking for the opposite sex, ask them. And you got a professional person to tell you. And besides, after all your walking, I would imagine your jeans wouldn't fit you, period, because of that. So there you go.
I'll keep quiet now.
Well, I think that's a really good thing to talk about, because you feel better when your clothes fit better, but we don't notice it over time that we're still wearing the same thing because it's comfortable. I think that that's a lot of what people go for, especially men. It's still comfortable, but to have a woman point it out, I think is lovely.
Yes. So
I like
time for a break.
It is time for a break. So we're going to take a short break, and we're hoping that you're going to stay with us, because this is such a fun subject to talk about. But if this has piqued your interest and you're interested in talking to Barry or I, we'll give you a short little ditty about how to get a hold of either one of us. So the best way to get a hold of me is to go to my website, which is www.theperfectcatch.com. Scroll to the middle of the screen and click on the What's Holding You Back from Love questionnaire, and you fill out the questionnaire, and it'll give you access to my online calendar where you can schedule a complimentary conversation with me, or you can send me an email at christine@theperfectcatch.com. And how would people reach you, Barry?
Similar to Christine, you can go to my website, and if you go to the button, you click the button at the top of the page, there's a button that says Let's Chat. And you click on that, and it'll take you to my calendar and also a form you can fill out so we can basically answer some questions so I know what you're looking for and schedule on the calendar a time to meet, usually over Zoom. And we can, and a gift from me to you for 20 minutes to discuss where you are, what you're looking for, and if I can help you. If you want to send me an email, you can send me one at barry@selby.com, and we'll see all about the rest of the stuff at the end of the episode.
Yes. And right now you're going to hear about our wonderful new streamingnetwork.com that produces our episodes and our podcasts and sends them out for syndication. And we'll be right back to talk more about how to be your own Valentine.
See you in a moment.
Hello, we're back with Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry, and today we're talking about how to be your own Valentine. How to just love yourself, be in love with yourself, because how can somebody else love you? I really do believe that we have a ceiling, that as much as we can love ourselves is as much as we allow another person to love us. There's often things on Facebook about somebody's going to help put our broken pieces back together. Somebody's going to teach us to love ourselves more. And it's not that that can't happen. I think you're just asking a lot of the other person. I think it's really important for us to heal ourselves as much as we can, become as whole as we can. We're all still full of lots of flaws and lots of baggage, and that's just how we are because we're a bunch of human beings having this human experience, and we just get as whole as we can. And then when we get into relationship and we form this third thing, then the relationship stuff's going to come up. And then we're going to work on that. And so our job is to figure out how to be as loving to ourselves as possible and feel as lovable and as important and as worthy as we possibly can. And then find somebody who thinks the same about us and thinks we're just the cat's meow. I mean, I really think that that's a great goal.
I totally agree with you. I think it's my own personal thing. Because for me, there's a calling, I guess I would say, that I followed for a long time, where I really feel that the better I take care of myself, the more healthy I get. I can do all the hiking and everything I do as well. It isn't just for me. Yes, I'm doing it for me because I want to be healthy and whole and live a long, healthy life, but also for my future partner. And also it means that I'm also raising the standards of who she has to be as well. And this is the thing you've got to be careful, just to be clear about this. If you're thinking about just getting in great shape, just to go back to the sort of thing you were with before, you might find yourself not lining up so well as it used to be. And so for me, and I'm sharing this with a couple of friends recently about the joy and the challenge of growing and evolving and becoming more who you really are, is that as you do that, your standards rise too. And as your standards rise, you discover less and less of the population matches what you want. And I hate to say this on a dating podcast, however, we tend to spend more time alone, comfortably alone, when we have this viewpoint on life because we're not so fixated on finding a partner. And it becomes almost like partnership is additive to what we're about, which we talked about in the show before, about having a relationship with yourself so strong that when you find somebody else, they become additive to that rather than filling a gap you think you have. We've gone down the codependency conversation quite a few times. Yeah. But the reminder is that really when you do start taking care of yourself, you don't settle as easily. Your standards will rise because you take care of yourself to the degree that you appreciate your own company and who you are. You are then your best Valentine, your own Valentine, so to speak, which means that when you meet somebody else, the habits they portray, the way they talk, the stuff, the baggage they carry doesn't appeal to you as much. It doesn't matter how cute they might be. You'll just go, yeah, but this and this is not for me. Now, you got to be careful because it's tempting to go, well, I'll work with them. And I've said to many of my clients before, you don't want to fix her upper. You You want to really choose somebody, like you were saying, who's doing their own work, who stands on their own 2 feet. And I don't necessarily mean like got their own house or anything else that might be important to you, but also somebody who does their own work so they're not dealing with trauma or issues or baggage or upsets or limiting perceptions of the world. You want somebody who stands next to you on equal footing with your own perceptions so you can really dance together in a way that works.
Oh, that potential. Boy, the rescuer people just love that potential. It's really a challenge.
I
So
did.
see the potential in yourself and work on yourself. That's the person to watch the potential. Boy, I love seeing potential in me, and I love seeing potential in my clients. It's hard when we see the potential in the other person and want to go fix them. I go, no, cheer them on to go do the work. I'm excited that you're going to go do the work, and I will be so excited to hear about it when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me know all about it when you come back. And if I'm still here, that would be terrific.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was this past Sunday. I went to the graduation of a seminar that a friend of mine was taking, and I took that seminar back in 1984. It's been a long time. But I went in there, I saw some friends I hadn't seen in a long, long time, and also a lot of new people there too. But some of the people who were running the room, like the staff and also the person on the stage, people I've known for 30, 35 years. So it was really fun reconnecting with them. But I thought, hang on a second, this environment, this seminar in quotes, hasn't changed that much from when I took it way back when. So I know now it's like I forgot because they were gone for a while. They're back on their feet, rebuilding their workshops and putting them in the world. That I realize that now there's something that's convenient and easy to get to that I can send people I'm interested in to, because if they do that work, then they're on the road, then they're doing the work, and they're becoming more someone I can talk to because the content they share in that seminar is so nuts and bolts. It's not like it's really highfalutin, but it's functional. And if you take it at heart, it will change your life and change my life. That's why I love it so much. But it means that after people go through that seminar, the conversation we can have are elevated from what they were before. So I now have to go, oh, that put that back in my resource list sort of thing, of things I can recommend to people.
Wow. How fun was that?
Oh, it's very fun. And my friend who took it, I literally had only met in person for the first time the week before because she's from the East Coast. She was out here just to do the seminar and do some other things. I just saw in her eyes after she'd done it how much she'd grown from it. You know, it's so cool to see her sort of having the experience and taking it to heart. So yeah, it was great for me, great for her to be there too. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, because we've experienced it, and it's fun to watch other people experience it, that when they're ready, that the student is ready, the teacher shows up, and we've experienced it both as the student and the teacher. So
absolutely.
Thinking about this weekend specifically, being proactive, because it's Thursday, it's not Saturday yet. What are you going to do with yourself? And if you have people in your life that you would like to do stuff with, be proactive about it. Let's all get together and cook dinner. Mm-hmm. What would you like to bring? What would you like to eat? What would you like to cook? Would you like to play a game? Would you like to write letters to each other? Would you like to figure out some activity that we'd all like to do the following weekend? We could get together and look up a bunch of meetup things. Mm-hmm. Be proactive about, if you really are a people person and you want people around you, then figure out how to have people around you. You still have a couple more days. Or if you'd like to go out in the world, look up some meetups. There are other single people out there that are going hiking or playing pickleball or going to the movies. There's a number of things that are happening for single people on Valentine's Day. I've seen them pop up on Meetup.
Yep.
Only be alone if you're choosing to be alone, because it will make you feel better to be alone. Mm-hmm. Don't be alone if it's going to make you feel worse. I would like to suggest that. Barry and I would like to suggest that, because it's one of those hard days that you're only just going to feel worse. And you don't want to just feel worse.
Yeah.
Because of all the hype around it. There's just a lot of hype. There's, walls of cards at the grocery store, and the music and the pressure is a lot. I mean, I was telling Barry before we started that I used to own an event planning company, for anybody that's watched for any length of time. And I would do stuff. People would hire me to do stuff, put all these fancy dinners at their house or make all these arrangements, especially if somebody was going to give a ring, which that happened a lot. they'd want me to do this big elaborate engagement thing. And without the engagement part, when they'd say, I want to do this big, take them out. And I go, okay, but tell them you would love to take them out another time because they're going to have a much better time. It's crowded and it's kind of, and sometimes when they put it that way, usually the guy is telling the woman, she'd say, really? Okay. Cause that's what I'd always say, make me dinner, bring me dinner. I'd much rather stay home. I really would. It's a lot. I mean, I am the fuss person. If you know me at all, you cannot over fuss about my birthday. I will tell you weeks in advance, my birthday's coming up. You better make a fuss, and you can't over fuss. But I'll tell you, Valentine's Day, I would just as soon stay home and do something fun or do something really low key. I don't want to fuss outside on Valentine's Day. And I'm really clear about telling it. I want a card. I want you to write in it. I'm fine with a little present, but I don't want to do the hoopla. And that's me, the fuss person. So if you are really clear about what's going to make you happy and not happy, tell the other person. And you have no idea the relief I would see on the men's faces when they go, really? And they wouldn't believe me right away because they think, we don't always tell the truth, us lady people. I go, no. Mm-hmm. And my husband was relieved because he loved to cook and he knew the thing about buy a card that had words in it and he would write in it. I have a whole box of all but he was just relieved and he would buy me really interesting things for Valentine. He bought me a Kindle. I was so excited that he bought me a Kindle for Valentine.
It works.
I had never thought about getting a Kindle and I was like, what a great present. I'm so happy. Yeah. So be clear about, now we're talking about what to do for yourself, but then that you could now tell another person, or if you have a group of people, we're all going to get together and read a book together or watch a movie together, because you don't want to be, generally, it's kind of a hard holiday to be alone. It just is. We're going to say it like it is. It's a hard holiday to be alone if it's not your choice.
Right. The thing about Valentine's Day, just to get this off my chest, I'll say this first about Valentine's Day, is I've always called Valentine's Day a Hallmark holiday. Yeah. Because they're the biggest profiteer of Valentine's Day because they do the chocolates, they do the cards and all the flowers and everything else too. Yeah. The reality is, like I was saying before the show started, about how the best time to get Christmas decorations are the day after Christmas, after they've got getting rid of the clearance sales, getting everything out. Valentine's Day is a great time to skip a day or two later to get the chocolates and the flowers because they'll be cheaper then. So a lot of times these stores overorder ahead of time. Yeah. And I meant to say is that Valentine's Day has a weight to it that is put on by society. Now, for a little sidebar, for those who don't know about Valentine's Day origins, it isn't actually a day of celebration. It was actually a day of penance in a way, because the saint that the saint is named after, Valentine, was actually a Roman, I want to say he's a soldier, may have been a chaplain in the Roman army. And he got into trouble with the emperor because he basically blessed the nuptials of Roman soldiers who fell in love with women and got them to get married. And he said, and the emperor was upset because the soldiers that were married didn't act as strong as the ones who were single, as far as he was concerned. So he was really upset with him. So he caught Valentine and had him executed. But it's interesting because the story goes, and it's like you have to follow the history forward. But different things happened over the times that basically became February 14th was the choice point. And it became the memory of St. Valentine, who sacrificed himself for love. That's the premise it comes under. So when Valentine's Day comes out as the little Cupid's arrow, that wasn't valid. That was totally made up. I mean, a little baby with wings and an arrow shooting. It's like, what sort of idea was that? The true love? Yeah, right. So what I'm saying about that means to say is that Valentine's has a lot of weight to it, a lot of heft. And frankly, like most Western holidays, it's been put upon by something prior that is not looked at now. It's looked differently. So to celebrate Valentine's Day is a choice, but I just want to say it's not the most, like, you must do it or else you suffer sort of thing, because it's not that level. But I love what you said, and I want to just really underscore it, because if you are single and a lot of your friends are single, because Valentine's Day is probably not the best time to go looking for a date. I mean, you might, but not focus that way. But it's a good time to be social with friends who you love, because Valentine's is a celebration of love in this conversation. Mm-hmm. So getting together with your friends, well, yeah, you go catch a movie. The thing is, you want to avoid most of the restaurants, because most of the restaurants are doing Valentine's Day specials. And those usually mean higher prices because they're pre-fixed menus. So to go and do things socially that don't incur massive costs because you wanted to go that way. I mean, if you want to spend money, great. But because you're going with friends, it's a social engagement. And you can support each other being single, which can be a good thing as well. So, and I agree with you as well. I tend not to go out a lot on Saturday night myself because I do my volunteering Saturday morning. I'm pretty exhausted by Saturday afternoon anyway, so I don't really get my second wind to go out Saturday night. So I may or may not go out, and I'm not particularly bothered myself personally that I have to go out and do something on Valentine's Day. And I hope you get the same ideas that Valentine's Day doesn't have to be you must go out and do something that's memorable and certain things. Like, no, maybe New Year's Eve is, maybe even Christmas is, but Valentine's Day, not so much. So be more easy with yourself, be more gentle with yourself, and be more carefree, be more relaxed, and enjoy yourself. And having social time with your friends is a good choice to spend some Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah. Have some grace, some ease with yourself and your friends. Yeah. Yeah. The false pressure is really hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. And I didn't know this story. That was really helpful. I knew there was some sort of Roman thing, but I didn't know. So thank you, Barry, for the education.
You're very welcome.
It's education on all sorts of levels when you listen to our podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And watch our show and listen to our podcast, all sorts of levels. So, wow. I hope that this has been helpful and will give you some foundation to feel better, less awful, better when Saturday rolls around this year and years to come, no matter what your dating status is, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Barry and I would be so happy to help you through Valentine's Day and all your dating and relationship challenges, because there are so many levels to getting to know yourself and to working through with relationships with all the people in your life, including your love relationship.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to speak to me, the best place to start is to go to my website, and it's www.theperfectcatch.com. And if you go to the middle of the page, there's a questionnaire that you click on called What's Holding You Back from Love. And one of the cool things about the questions that you answer is it shows you where you are. Are you really dating and just want some tweaking, or you want to get ready to date, or you want to get ready to get ready? Mostly I'm getting a lot of people that they're just struggling to just think about where are they in their world. And it's really been interesting. They're not even ready to date yet. So I'm cool with that. So just know you don't even have to be ready to date for us to talk. So once you fill out the questionnaire, you then get access to my calendar and you get to schedule a complimentary conversation with me. You can go to the top of my website and click on a link to my ebook. It's free. And once you have it, you can hop around. You can go chapter by chapter. You can just look at the titles of the chapters and say, oh, this one looks interesting, and I'm going to listen to that one or read that one, and I'm going to skip to this one and read that one. It's really been fun to get feedback of the people that, like me, are linear and want to read it every chapter, or the ones that are hopping around. It's been really kind of an adventure. Also, I'd love for you to join my mailing list. You get a repeat of this in your mailbox every week. You can now watch or listen to our podcast right away, like in a couple days, or you can find out what I've got coming up in this next quarter of the year. You can also go to the bottom of the page and click on all my social media of Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter and YouTube. And I think today might be 270. I'm not sure, but I think we might be at that peak. I know. And that's all of our wonderful podcasts that Barry and I have done together. And I'd love to hear from you if you want to send me an email at Christine@theperfectcatch.com. And how would people reach you, Barry?
Awesome, Christine. As I mentioned before at the break, I have a website you can go to, which is my name, barryselby.com. As I also mentioned at the beginning, at the top of the page, there is a link to Let's Chat. Takes you to my calendar. You fill out the form. We have a conversation, see where you are and what you're looking for. Already told you that part. At the bottom of the page is a way to jump onto my email list. Very straightforward. You just put in your name and email, and you get added to my email list where I send out weekly replays of the show and other things that I'm working on and bringing forward this year. It's going to be a busy year this year, so you definitely want to be in touch with what's going on. In the middle of the screen is three things on the homepage. So the top of the screen is the way you get on my calendar. Bottom of the screen is how you get into my email list. In the middle of the screen is a link to the first of my 2 assessments, or quizzes, should be called. And that's your relationship readiness assessment. And that's really to navigate and clarify where you are in your search for, preparedness for your relationship to yourself, and how you're looking to be in love with somebody in the future. If you fill that quiz out, you'll get an email from me, which basically gives you feedback on where you are and what's working, what can be improved, and if you want to work together. So an invitation to do that, just free gift from me to you. The second one of my assessments is actually not on the homepage. It's a button I need to put somewhere, but I haven't done it yet. But if you put in the link, barryselby.com/self-quiz, because the first one is quiz, the second one is self-quiz, and that is my self-relationship assessment, and that's a much deeper one. This is really looking in the mirror and looking at who you are and where you are, and how you fit into what you're looking for, what's lined up, what's not working, what is working. It covers 7 areas of your life. And if you go through that quiz, you'll get a whole bunch of information sent back to you as a PDF document you can download with really key steps you can take to work forward in your life, both in your personal life, but also in your romantic life. So I recommend doing the self-quiz. Also, on my website is my book, which is my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's on Amazon. You can get it from there. But if you're not sure if you want to buy it just right away, which you might want to jump in and buy it, you can go there to find out more about it. But if you go to the top of the page and you go to barryselby.com/book, you're going to go with the straight link. But at the top of the page, there is a little audio track that's about a 10, 15-minute conversation between 2 very astute and wise voices, almost like NPR voices. It's actually AI generated, but it sounds really smart. But basically, it's a review of my book, and they do go into detail, so you get a good idea of my book before you even buy it. So check that out, and if you like it, then go buy my book. On social media, you can find me as Barry Selby on YouTube, especially, where all my videos are, including 1,500 videos that I've got from other talks I've done over the years and other things, conversations I've had, interviews, all sorts of things there. So go to youtube.com/Barry Selby. You can also find me at Barry Selby on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Pinterest, and on Blue Sky. And if you want to follow me on Instagram or Threads, it's the real Barry Selby, because my account had to be renamed when the old one got hacked. So that's how you can find me that way. You can also drop me an email at barry@barryselby.com. I think that's everything.
And you can watch us live on StreamYard every week at 1 o'clock Pacific and 4 o'clock Eastern, and all the times in between. You can watch us live or on repeat on YouTube and Roku, and my hat and Barry's beautiful glasses. But you can take us with you, right, as a podcast, Barry?
Absolutely, yes. Our show not only is a video, but also is an audio. So if you don't have time to sit and watch a video on YouTube or on wherever you're looking on the video platforms, you can listen to us on your audio platform of choice. So if you listen to podcasts on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, look for Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry. You can listen to our show anytime you want. And we got, as you said, 250, 260, 270 shows now. You can binge listen for days if you want to. So wherever you're going in life, if you're going a long drive, like traveling up the coast or something, just plug in a podcast and listen for hours. You'll have a great time listening to us.
We're very entertaining.
We think so.
And we'll be back being very entertaining next week with another interesting subject about dating and relationships.
We will indeed. We'll see you then.
Bye for now.
Bye.